we will talk about Prophet Suleiman alaihis-salam. Think of such a person that, with his story, you don't have to tell your children about fake superheroes. Tell them Prophet Suleiman's story. He flew too. The miracles he showed are real and have actually happened. At this point we are lacking as Muslims. Firstly, we don't know about Prophet Suleiman and his life. His life was so striking and fascinating. Therefore, we have decided to talk about the life of Prophet Suleiman. This way you can learn about him and raise your kids with a love for Prophet Suleiman. They can still wear t-shirts with an S symbol on them, but can also wear Prophet Suleiman's t-shirt, so to speak, and carry him on their hearts. There is a saying that goes, the world is not left to Sultan Süleyman. Indeed, even though Sultan Süleyman ruled over the whole world, and he had the most powerful reign, he did not live forever. So, what kind of a reign did he have? Let's talk about his life. Think of such a person that he has humans, jinns, animals, and even angels in his army. It makes you think of science fiction movies, doesn't it? But reality is more fascinating than them. Prophet Süleyman's name is mentioned in 16 different places in the Quran. He is from Gaza, near Jerusalem, the place that is under blockade right now, which we call the largest open-air prison that has invaders around it. He was born in that Gaza and passed away in Jerusalem. We are talking about 53 years of life, but these 53 years are filled with very interesting stories. His grave is in Jerusalem. Those who want to visit can do so. Every year during Ramadan, there are routine attacks on Al-Aqsa Mosque, and our innocent Palestinian brothers and sisters are exposed to violence, bombed, beaten and killed. For example, last year, around 350 Palestinians were martyred. Every year they are killed like this. If all of these killings happened in one day, there will be an uproar, so they do it little by little. So on this occasion, let us mention Jerusalem. Inshallah, it inspires people to go there, because we should go there and protect those places. Al-Aqsa Mosque is our first Qibla. It is the place where our Prophet ﷺ ascended to heaven, and Prophet Jesus was raised to heaven. It is one of the 3 masjids of Allah on earth, so it is somewhat like the Kaaba and Al-Masjid al-Nabawi. It is the place where one salah has 500 times more sawab, and a place where all prophets have set foot in. Now they want to demolish Al-Aqsa Mosque and build Solomon's temple in its place. On this occasion, let's remember this and get rid of our heedlessness. So, why do they want to build Solomon's temple? Because Prophet Suleiman is a prophet whom Jewish people consider to be of their bloodline. And he was a king and a prophet, and he ruled the world. The love for that power and the plan to demolish Al-Aqsa Mosque are connected to each other. Prophet Suleiman's father, Prophet David, was given the command over Iran. Prophet Suleiman is one of his 19 children. His father was both a ruler and a prophet. Prophet Suleiman took the throne when he was 12 or 13 years old, and then became a prophet later. And because of a prayer he said, Allah gave him such a reign that he is remembered as one of the 4 people who ruled over the earth. Who are the other ones? There is Dhul-Qarnayn, who was a believer just like him, and on the side of the non-believers there is Nimrod and Nebuchadnezzar II. Prophet Suleiman attended councils with his father, and since he was so different from the other children of Prophet David, he spent time next to his father and examined how to reign. And it is even said that his understanding got ahead of his father's. There are some examples from the Hadith and the Quran. Let's discuss these if you wish, so that you can understand how he judged differently from his father. There is a story of 2 women, one of whose kid was older than the others. The older kid was snatched by a wolf on the way, and the other woman tries to take the younger from his mother, saying that she is the mother. Both women come before Prophet David, both claiming to be the mother. Prophet David looks at the women and says that the one who cries more and seems more sincere is the mother, orders to give the kid to that woman. Prophet Suleiman asks his father to give him a knife and let him cut the boy in half, and let both women get a share. While one of the women seems to agree, the other one says that she is not the mother and begs them to not cut the boy in half. Prophet Suleiman then says that she is the real mother, stating that the real mother would rather be away from his child than let the child be harmed. When his father sees his level of understanding, he starts preparing Prophet Suleiman to reign after him. There is another incident as well, A flock of sheep enters a field and plunders the crops. Owner of the field sues the owner of the flock. Prophet David says that since the field and flock have the same price, the field's owner should get the flock as compensation. Prophet Suleiman says that there is another way. He wants to give the sheep to the field's owner for a while. Meanwhile, the flock's owner would help with the reconstruction of the field. When the crops are ready, the sheep would be given back to their original owner, and during this time the field's owner would make use of the flock, and neither side would be aggrieved. This judgment was accepted by everyone, and his understanding was appreciated. When Prophet David starts preparing Prophet Suleiman to reign after him, Israelites have an objection, and Prophet David decides to test Prophet Suleiman. He asks him 13 questions. One of the questions is, when which piece gets better, other parts get better, and when it gets corrupted, other parts get corrupted as well. While everyone has a different answer, Prophet Suleiman says that it is the heart, and this answer is appreciated immediately. Prophet David gets all of their staffs and locks these in a room. When he opens the door, only Prophet Suleiman's staff stays, with greenery and a flower coming out of it. Everyone understands that he is deemed worthy of respect by Allah, and accepts him becoming ruler after Prophet David. In Surah Sad, there is an important prayer done by Prophet Suleiman, and he says, "My Lord, forgive me and grant me an authority that will never be matched by anyone after me. You are indeed the giver of all bounties." And Allah says, "So we subjected to him the wind, blowing gently at his command to wherever he pleased. And we subjected to him every builder and diver of the Jinn, and others bound together in chains. This is our gift. So give or withhold as you wish, never to be called to account." After this, Prophet Suleiman had a reign that is unmatched. He ruled over humans and jinns. He rode the wind on his throne, and went distances that normally took months in a day. He spoke the language of the animals, including birds and ants. He spoke to them, gave them orders, and had them in his army. It is told in Surah Naml. One day he was passing through the valley of the ants with his army. One ant warns the others and tells them to hide in their dwellings since the army is coming. Then Prophet Suleiman praises Allah for this. Allah taught him Ism-Azam prayer, and he had a ring with Ism-Azam on it. It is a very hidden secret. It is among the abilities given by Allah. It was taught to very few people, such as Ali, Salman the Persian, and Hudayfa. While Aisha wanted to learn it, she wasn't taught. Ism-Azam is so effective that whatever is asked with it, Allah gives. So the prayers he said when wearing that ring were accepted. The ring is still searched by people. Of course, Allah only gives it to those he wishes, and not to those he doesn't. Think of such a reign that he sits on his throne and goes wherever he pleases with his throne. He sends the birds under his command as scouts, and birds find where water is, where enemies are, and so on. Just like drones and cameras, a conscious bird tells him about important observations. He managed to hold the whole area fairly under his rule. Birds functioned as an umbrella for him, providing him with shade and protection from rain. Prophet Suleiman liked watching horses and witnessing the reflection of Allah's names on them. He always wore white, and he had white skin and a radiant appearance. May Allah make it possible for us to meet him in the afterlife. Imagine how wonderful it would be to hear these stories from him in heaven. He was a well-mannered person, always acting with a fear of Allah. And an amazing quality he had is that he accompanied outcasts. He spent time with those despised by people, and this protected humility in his heart. As spending time with wealthy and noble people all the time could cause arrogance, he chose to stay humble this way. He carried out such projects that all the other rulers in the world obeyed him. He had roads and bridges made. Who built these roads and bridges? He had the Jinn build these. Very interesting. Maybe some of the things we know as historical works and wonders were made by jinns. Another quality about Prophet Suleiman is that he cared about greenery a lot, and he carried out afforestation and greening projects. Let's not forget to mention that he considered science and art important, and worked to ensure progress in these areas. And let me tell you something very interesting. He split works between groups. He used his army with full efficiency and full performance. For instance, jinns were responsible for reconstruction. They would process rocks and iron, along with diving and bringing gems, pearls and valuable materials from the bottom of the sea and caves. Some of the palaces he had built were made from glass,
While jinns were responsible for reconstruction, humans were assigned to farming, shepherding, arts and commerce. He organized society this way. He gave duties to animals too. He used them especially for guard duty. Also, animals were used in freightage, and he established an intelligence network with them. Since he could speak to animals, they worked actively in the exchange of information, so it was broader and more detailed compared to carrier pigeons. Our prophet states that Prophet Suleiman made 3 wishes to Allah. He wished wealth and reign that no one else is granted after him, and the power to rule according to divine judgment. Also, he wished that those who go to Al-Aqsa Mosque for Salah to become sinless. Therefore, it is very important to visit Al-Aqsa Mosque. Allah has granted 2 of these wishes to Prophet Suleiman. Let's hope that the 3rd one is granted as well. It is something that will go on until the apocalypse. Inshallah, Allah would accept us as sinless if we visit Al-Aqsa Mosque for Salah. While Allah knows best, Prophet Suleiman's prayer may have been accepted. In 7 years, he completes Al-Aqsa Mosque, whose foundation was laid by Prophet David. While it was finished in 7 years, it was done beautifully, and he has a palace made alongside it, which was finished in 13 years, forming a wonderful appearance. Copper was given under his command. Moreover, as a result of archaeological works, a copper foundry was found in Etzion-Geber port, which was built for Prophet Suleiman by Phoenician craftsmen. This is an evidence of that. Now let's talk about the matter of the Queen of Sheba. Prophet Suleiman has a hoopoe bird named Hudhud. The bird would fly around for finding water, bringing information and so on. It talks to other birds of its kinds from other areas, and it gets information regarding a queen near Yemen. People there began to worship sun instead of believing in Allah. It immediately informs Prophet Suleiman about this, and Prophet Suleiman writes a letter beginning with Basmalah. As you may know, there are 114 surahs in the Quran. 113 of these start with Basmalah, except for At-Tawbah surah, due to including disciplinary expressions which are not in the same context with Rahman and Rahim names. But Surah Naml has Basmalah in it, and it is said here. The Queen of Sheba says that she received a letter from Prophet Suleiman, and it begins with Basmalah. Hudhud gets in through the window and leaves the message through a hole. When Queen of Sheba finds a sealed envelope in the morning, she gets nervous and scared. She says that he may actually be a prophet, and in this case, they shouldn't go to war with him, as they would lose. But if he is not, she decides to go to war with him. Prophet Suleiman calls her to his presence and tells her to not be one of the disobeyers. Then she decides to send presents beforehand as a test. She sends a cup, a rock, 2 golden bricks, and a pearl with a curved hole. In addition, she sends 500 females and 500 males, dressed in the opposite gender's clothing. She says that if he is really a prophet, he would distinguish these, get a thread through the pearl, put water into the cup that is neither from the ground nor from the sky, and pierce the rock with something that is not human. Envoys come, and Prophet Suleiman knows of their arrival beforehand. He had a wall built with golden bricks and sent animals towards it. When the envoys came, they saw a heavenly rain that was not seen before on the earth. There are gems everywhere and a glass palace. As they see animals use the golden structure as a restroom, they realize that gold is the least valuable thing there. They are ashamed to offer it as a gift. Then when they see 2 bricks on the wall are missing, they place the bricks they brought, lest they think they stole them. Afterwards, they present the stone, and Prophet Suleiman orders a woodpecker to pierce it. Then he says, "You must have a pearl. Give it to me." While they get surprised that he knows about it, they give the pearl. He orders a worm to pass the thread through the pearl, and the worm does it. The envoys are very impressed. He makes the horses run and fills the cup with their sweat. Then he tells the 500 females and 500 males to wash their hands and faces. While males use their right hands to pour the water, females use their left hands, and he distinguishes them this way. And as it is evident that he is a prophet, the Queen of Sheba goes to him. As it is mentioned in the Quran, Prophet Suleiman asks who will bring him the queen's throne. One of the jinn in his army says that he will bring it as soon as he can get up. And one of the humans, who is not a prophet, says that he will bring it in the blink of an eye. He knew a method to summon objects. Then he brings it in the blink of an eye. Master Bediüzzaman talks about Prophet Suleiman's story in a beautiful way. I suggest everyone to read it. The master says that this incident gives us an idea. This means that it is possible to transfer the images of objects or their original form. So something like molecular transportation or teleportation is possible. In terms of transporting images, TVs and screens do this. Maybe one day we can manage to send actual objects from one place to another. As jinns hear that the Queen of Sheba is coming, they are afraid and wonder if they get married, because there was a war between evil jinns and Muslims, which Muslims won. Evil jinns were enslaved and had to obey. As a result, they were filled with hatred. They were looking for opportunities to harm them, and they began to slander the Queen of Sheba. They said that her feet look like a donkey's and she has mental problems. Prophet Süleyman had a pool built in front of his glass palace and had glass covered over it. When the queen came, she thought that it is water and took her shoes off, which made her feet show. It was evident that her feet weren't like a donkey's. Then he showed her throne to her with some differences. When Queen saw it, she said it looks like her throne. As an intelligent person could understand the difference, he concluded that she doesn't have mental problems. Thus the queen becomes a believer, and the rumor has it that she marries Prophet Süleyman. It is told in Surah Sad again that Allah gave Prophet Süleyman a test. There are different rumors about this. According to one, jinns started an insurrection for 40 days and Prophet Süleyman couldn't rule. In another one, he wishes 40 sons from Allah, but because he didn't say Inshallah, Allah only gave him one son who was disabled. There are some who interpret that he took the throne after his passing away. Even his passing away is interesting. During a construction, he goes to the balcony and orders no one to come close. He leans on his staff and Azrael comes. Then he tells him to do as he was ordered. Azrael takes his soul there. People see him from a distance, but he seems like he is watching the construction, leaning onto his staff. Jinns can't even look due to fear. He was such a majestic person. When a woodworm gets into his staff and hollows it out, the staff breaks and Prophet Süleyman falls. Then they understand, maybe after months or after years. This is how afraid they were. These creatures, which were filled with hatred due to being under domination, swear to find collaborators among humans until the apocalypse and to rule in order to not be in the same state again. Now let's talk briefly about the Ark of the Covenant. As Prophet Moses commanded, Torah was protected in the Ark of the Covenant. Prophet Süleyman continued this, but when Nebuchadnezzar invaded Jerusalem and destroyed all of those palaces and other structures that were constructed, he took the Ark of the Covenant to Babylon. Then it was damaged and the Torah was changed, unfortunately. Let's sum it up. Prophet Süleyman has 9 types of miracles. Firstly, the winds were under his command. Secondly, when he wished to pass through sea, the sea would make way. Thirdly, jinns were under his command, and they brought gems from the bottom of the sea. The fourth one is that he had a ring with a seal. Whatever prayer he said, since the ring had Isma Azam on it, it would be accepted. The fifth is he could talk to animals, including ants. The sixth is that wherever he wished to go, he could go flying on his throne. The seventh is that Allah informed him of the location of gems that were to be brought by the jinns. He knew hidden sciences as Allah taught him. The eighth is that when he sprinkled some water on a mountain, that mountain became full of greenery. The ninth is that it is said that when Prophet Süleyman went somewhere, the walls would follow him. May Allah make it possible for us to live according to His sake like Prophet Süleyman and to be worthy of happiness in the afterlife. For Allah's sake, Al-Fatiha.